Osio, Maburiga, greetings. Welcome to the Red Road East. I'm your host, Feerce Truth-Seeker. The Red Road East is an indigenous TV program dedicated to archiving and preserving the history, legacy, and culture of the indigenous peoples of the Americas east of the Mississippi River and the Caribbean. Yeah, I know it's been a little while. I beg your pardon for the delay. However, I have a lot of things on the plate and, you know, got to take care of, my business and household first and foremost. You know, unfortunately, there's only a few people who support the channel, like a handful, like literally I could count on a few fingers the amount of people who actually support the channel. So, you know, I got to take care of my business first. Again, if this was a reality show, indigenous TV program, I'd have millions of viewers because that's what y'all like. Y'all don't like real information, y'all like entertainment, you know. So, but anyway, and y'all like people lying to you. So if I was lying to you, I'd get all the support in the world as well. You know, it is what it is. But anyway, yeah, we have one person viewing, so I'll wait for a few. If y'all are wondering why the delay in the show starting, is because I was kind of trying to wait for a couple of more viewers, because I can see how many people are viewing even before I start the show. Okay, I see there's another person who joined in. I appreciate that person. All right. Haitian Revolution fake. Okay, hey, got one of our Haitian brothers in the chat. Greetings, greetings. Thanks for joining. Yeah, and I'm gonna be talking about IET pretty soon, so I hope you subscribe to the channel and uh, check out check out the subscribe to the channel, and check out some of the upcoming shows. And anyway, so today we're talking about genealogy. And I know for a lot of people, I get a lot of people contacting me all the time talking about problems with genealogy and people saying that they can't get past certain points in their genealogy, like past the 1800s and things of that nature. And okay, I see some more. Another person just joined in, not in the chat, but I see another viewer. And another one came in and dropped off. Okay. But anyway, yeah, a lot of people express problems with genealogy and getting past the 1800s. Um, what you have to remember with a lot of people, what I notice is that a lot of people really, believe it or not, it should be common knowledge, but a lot of people don't understand that your family is not just your immediate family that oh yeah, uh I'm yeah, my family is Jefferson. We the Jeffersons. you know, and no, your family is not just that. That's just the family you're aware of. Okay. But when it comes to genealogy and it comes to your parents, grandparents, great grandparents, those numbers grow exponentially, you know, uh, with each generation, you know, and a lot of people don't grasp that concept, you know. Hey, and Firebird is in the house. Firebird, if you want to join the panel and talk about some of this too, you're welcome. I can drop you the link. Do you want me to drop the link? Let me know. Um, but it grows exponentially, and even with myself, you know, I run into a lot of people who are, well, let me not say it because that's for later on in the show. We're going to talk about some of that stuff, but uh I don't want to get ahead of myself. So, but yeah, you got to understand, because that's another topic. You got to understand that your family is more than just your parents and your grandparents, and some of you don't know your great grandparents, some of you do, but they think that that's it. Okay. So, and I run into a lot of other people who may have, their families, their parents died young, or one of their parents died young, and they didn't learn about their families, and they're stuck. Okay. And so they're trying to do a family tree, but without that information, you could do things like you know uh for me, for people like that, I say it's best to, and I know there's a lot of people who are against DNA, but it's a great tool if you don't have genealogy. Okay. And if you get stuck in paradigms where, you know oh well, I don't deal with DNA, then really I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? You you know you're shortchanging yourself, because how else are you going to get the information? You don't have the information passed down from your family members. Okay. But at the same time, you don't want to deal with the DNA. At some point, you're going to have to make a sacrifice. Either you want the information or you don't. Okay. And then let's say for some people who do have certain information that they've gotten from family members, but it only brings them to a certain point. Okay. That's another situation, you know. And again, in that situation, it would, be recommended that you do the DNA, because then what happens is you're able to meet DNA relatives. Okay, you got to be open minded. When it comes to genealogy, there is no such thing as being closed minded. And also with genealogy, you have to kind of be like a detective. Okay, you have to be kind of like a detective, because if you didn't, like me, I got a lot of information from my elders growing up. Okay, I was always that kid who was asking questions, you know. Plus, it was just talked about all the time when I was growing up anyway. So, when the older folks was talking or when my parents were talking about, family and stuff like that, I listened and, I took it all in. Plus, my grandmother, um, my paternal grandmother, she had the information. Oh, hold on. Before somebody, um, Haitian Revolution uh, had a concern. Um, that's my biggest problem. Haitian Revolution. What challenge are you having? What's your biggest problem? I'm sorry, I went ahead and didn't notice your comment. What's your biggest problem? Let me know. See if I could be of some assistance while I'm waiting for um his response. I'm assuming it's a him. Pardon me, it could be a her. While I'm waiting for Haitian Revolution's response, I'll keep talking. But what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Okay, gotcha. Well, okay. So Haitian Revolution. One of Haitian Revolution's problem is one of the parents died when they were young. Yeah, that can be a problem. That can be a problem. Do you have any aunts or uncles who are like your parents' age or even elderly? Do you have anything like that? Anyone alive, or even sometimes you can talk to extended family. Do you have any extended family, family friends that knew your parents and your family? Because that can be another way to get information about your family. Okay. And even relatives of mine who are into genealogy as well have been able to get information about our family from extended family. Do you have anything like that at your disposal? Let me know. Okay, we got Kiera, peace and Islam. All right, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Much appreciated. So, yeah. So, what you're gonna have to do, everybody out and two, everybody's genealogy is different. There's no one approach, you know, that fits all. Okay. Again, now back on my train of thought, what I was talking about a couple of minutes ago is that my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, she kept a lot of family history in her Bible. Okay. And you can look for your family Bible, the Bibles of deceased relatives and stuff like that. Uh okay, Haitian Revolution, saying don't know enough, don't know enough of my relatives, and the records are written in cursive French. In cursive French, and you don't speak French, nor do you read cursive. Is that what's the issue? Um, is that the issue? Um, yeah. Look for, that's another thing you could also do. Haitian Revolution is look for family Bibles, of deceased relatives, on either side, because a lot of times that's how our families left information, okay, is in those Bibles. Okay. And so I would look in my grandmother's Bible and I would see, you know, the genealogy, and she would also dictate to me the genealogy, and I would ask 1,000 questions and I wouldn't let up with those questions. Okay. So, me personally, I can trace my family back to the 1700s. Okay. And so, when I first started doing the genealogy, I had a lot of roadblocks. Well, not a whole lot, but I had certain road because I did have an extensive family tree that I got from the elders. But genealogy is ongoing. It never stops. Okay, because again, those parents, the grandparents, great grandparents, all that, it grows exponentially. So it's never ending. You know, you can't say, oh yeah, I've gotten all of my family genealogy. No, you don't. Okay. No, you don't. You have family members. Like I know some people who say, you know, oh, well, I have a small family. All of my family is dead. No, they're not. All the family that you know of is dead. Okay. All the family that you know of are dead, but they're not all dead. Okay. So you have to get out of that mindset of my family is just me, my brother, my sister, and my uncles, and my grandparents, and that's it. Okay. You got second cousins, third cousins, fourth cousins, fifth cousins, sixth cousins, and all that from grandparents, great grandparents, exponentially going back generations and generations. Okay. And that's where the DNA comes in handy, because if you don't have genealogy, like in the case of Haitian Revolution, getting a DNA test will connect you to people who you're related to. Okay. And you can use that DNA for, you can use your DNA test. All of the companies now have where you could find DNA relatives, and they have where you could, do a lot. They give a lot of tools to do independent research. Okay. So, yeah, some people say, yeah, it's a bad thing, but it's also a good thing at the same time. You can't just look at the negative. You're going to have to sacrifice something if you want that information. Okay. And I can say that DNA has helped me to be able to go back even further, you know, and, I'm trying to go, I can go back to the 1700s. I'm trying to go back even further than that. Okay. You know, and, every day I'm doing this is for me. If you really want to, have a satisfactory family tree, you have to be doing this every day. Okay. For me, genealogy is nonstop. My wife will tell you, I'm doing this 24/7. It's nonstop, nonstop. Okay. And by, I've met DNA relatives who have, who've had certain ancestors on their family tree that I didn't. And so let's say you have a tree, right? And let's say this is the tree, you know. Um, let's say this is my tree, and let's say this branch is missing, You know, I got this one, don't have just a piece of that one, this one, this one, this one, you know, or maybe a little piece of this one. And, you know, I've met relatives who had another piece, and that allowed me to get that piece, and another relative who allowed me to get that piece, you know. And then it's like connecting dots. It's almost like genealogy. You have to look at it like you're putting together pieces of a puzzle, okay? And again, you have to be like a detective, okay? You have to reach out to, let's say, if you, let's say on DNA relatives, right? You have to reach out to all of those DNA relatives and see what they know, okay? Introduce yourself. Say, hey, I'm such and such. My family is so and so, you know. Can I compare family trees with you? You know, and you'd be surprised. Sometimes it doesn't come out to nothing because, you know, you don't know where those branches connect, and the other person doesn't know where those branches connect because certain surnames are missing, even though you have the blood, but the surnames, you know, the records are lost. So in situations like that, you're gonna have to dig even deeper. You know, you're gonna have to look at, find out, okay, well, where did your ancestors live? So let's say if an ancestor, if you know that, let's say for instance, your great great grandfather lived in, let's say, Georgia, and you meet a DNA relative and their ancestor lived in the Carolinas, okay? That's not too far from each other. You know, maybe your great great grandfather may have originally come from South Carolina, you know, so you may have to look in records in South Carolina, look in newspapers in South Carolina, okay, newspaper records, birth uh, 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 records, you know, newspaper articles, you know, county jails, military records, you know, things like that. But you can't be lazy, okay? If you really want to be serious about your genealogy, you cannot be lazy, because if you're lazy, you can forget about it. You're not gonna be able to take, you're not gonna be able to be like the Feerce Truth-Seeker and take your ancestry back to the 1700s or before, because I didn't get this information by being lazy. Okay, you have to put in the sweat. You know, you have to take the bumps and the bruises. Some relatives that you reach out to are not gonna want anything to do with you. Okay, a lot of your relatives may not have even looked like you. Okay, and some of you are going to have to come to grips with that. Okay, so you may have to reach out to relatives who may be uh, uh you know, of a different hue. You know, sometimes you may have relatives who you may think were your biological relatives, and they may not have been. Okay, I've met relatives, DNA relatives, who thought that one of their parents was their biological parents, and it wasn't. They were raised by a man who they thought was their father. Come to find out with the DNA, that was not their father. Okay? How you know is because some of them have met other siblings, okay, that they never knew existed. Okay? I'm telling you real talk. These are real stories. I'm not saying their names because it would put certain people in trouble. So I'm not going to say names, and I'm not going to say which side of the family these DNA relatives have come from. That's nobody's business. Okay. But I'm telling you what happened. Okay. I've met relatives who they found siblings, brothers and sisters that they never knew existed. They were raised by fathers that they thought were their biological fathers, and their mothers were creeping around. Okay. Fathers that were creeping around. So if you are a person who feels that you don't deal with DNA, you only deal with the paper trail, okay, then your genealogy is fake. Okay, your genealogy is fake. So paper genealogy only is somewhat accurate, okay? Because it doesn't have to be accurate. It's just what's on paper, okay? And that's why, people talking about blood quantum and, all these kind of things and things of that nature. Blood quantum is BS. Pardon my expression, is bullshit because it's not dealing with actual blood. It's just dealing with what's on paper, what's written on paper. Okay? So, my approach to genealogy, I'm open to everything when it comes to genealogy. Okay? I have no taboos when it comes to genealogy. With me, it's by any means necessary when it comes to genealogy. I'm going to get that information. And for those who say nay, I'm going to say, well, that's why you're stuck in the 1800s. And I'm not stuck in the 1800s. I'm beyond the 1800s. Okay? Because I'm not closed minded when it comes to doing this work. Okay? So you're going to have to pound the pavement, you know. Again, look at look at you got to get out of the mindset of just you know looking at um thinking, well, you know well, uh I'm a Daniels, and just because your last name is Daniels, that don't mean we related. I don't know you, I never heard of you. Get out of that mindset. you know you don't necessarily have to be related, but keep an open mind that it's a possibility. Okay, keep an open mind that it's a possibility. And anytime you have someone who has your surname, always, you know, have the mindset that, hey, we might be related. You know what I'm saying? So start asking people questions, even if you never heard of them before, because you don't know, you know. Um, some more comments. I'm sorry, I'm getting on a rant here. Uh, my closest matches are three cousins or later on Ancestry. Okay, three cousins on Ancestry, that's a start. Okay, that's a start. I'm gonna tell you what else you could do. You have an account on Ancestry. This is what I would do if I was a person who had no genealogy on one side. Personally, I would get an account with every company. Also, GEDmatch. Upload your raw data to GEDmatch. Okay, because a lot of people do that, even from other companies, and you could link up with relatives that way. You know, who are related to you, but they got their DNA done from another company. Okay. And again, I know there's some people who are dogmatic about DNA. And I say, hey, if you already have your genealogy down pat, you're satisfied with it, you could take your genealogy back to the 1700s, 1600s, this, that, and the other, then cool. I'm not talking to you. Okay. I'm not talking to you. I'm only talking to the people because I get this a lot. A lot of people ask me all the time about genealogy and being stuck with their genealogy. Okay. So I'm talking to those people. All right. If you're stuck, again, if I was a person who's trying to get past that 1800s barrier, that's what I would do. I would get an account with every company. Some people are not on Ancestry. Some people are on 23andMe. Some people are on that other one, Family. What's it? Family Tree, I think it's called. I get an account with all of those and see who you're related to on those different accounts. And that's another way. That's another thing that could help you as well. Haitian Revolution. You know. Uh, and you know also check out the Mormons. Okay, the Mormons have a lot of records. Um, in your case, so in Haitian Revolution's case, your people are in Haiti or Haiti. So I'm not sure if the Mormons' records go into the Caribbean. That I'm not sure. So in that case, I'd have to look into that and see if their records go into the Caribbean. Uh, Now you may have to actually go to Haiti, talk to the people, wherever they keep the genealogical records there, you know, and do some digging. Like I did that with to get records for on my maternal side, okay, which is in the Caribbean. So, you know, I had to actually make a call to get records from there, you know, and you can do the same thing for Haiti or Haiti, okay? So, let's see, what else could you do? Um, yeah, I would say first start with talking to those three cousins that you matched and tell them, who you are, what your surname is, look to see what their surname is, and also look to see how many times removed you are from those cousins. Like if you're first cousins. Now, if you're first cousins, that's even better because then, you know, you got those surnames that you can, that's very close, and you can build from there. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, let's say, if your uh, father's last name was, let's say, Miller, okay, and your uncles, let's say, so your uncles, they would have that same surname. And if your cousins have that surname, you know, you good money. You know what I'm saying? So look to see, okay, uh he's Haitian Revolution says we're third cousins at the earliest. Okay, so third cousins, all right, that's still close enough. Okay, look at those surnames, and you're gonna have to be like a detective from there. You know, have them to talk to some of their elders and see what they can tell them. Tell them who your father was, and see if any of them knew who your father was. You know, what stories they could tell you that could give you clues. See, it's all about clues. And again, you have to be like a detective. Anything, it could be that one thing that they say that could be that clue that you need. You know, hold on, I gotta mute this mic because they're gonna because that music in the background they may. Okay, good, it's passed. Okay, yeah, because they'll get me for copyright infringement, even though there's some fool outside playing the music. It's happened. Hold on, I gotta do it now. Okay, now we're good. They passed. But yeah, they've done that on the channel, taking the video down just because somebody outside is playing the music, and then I'm not the one that's playing it. You know, as you know, this is one of the most feared channels on YouTube because we keep it 1,000% real. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, so you got to be like a detective. Okay, and it could be that one little thing that somebody says that you could research. Okay, and it could. Hold on, I gotta mute again. Sorry about that. Just bear with me. Okay, we're good now. I live in the Boogie Down Bronx. It's a 24-hour party around here. That's how it is. 24 hours non-stop. They don't stop. Okay. Uh so yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah, you got to be like a detective. Okay. And again, I know in the Caribbean, it's even harder. It's even harder because at some point, you get to a point where there are no records. you know, it's real hard. It was real hard for me with the Caribbean genealogy at one point because we didn't have all of this modern technology that we have now. We didn't have, at one point, we didn't have all this DNA, you know, and we didn't have ancestry and all of that stuff. You had to physically go to these places to get records. When I first started, you had to physically go walk in to get records. Was no When I first started, there was no, I'm a little bit older than a lot of you viewers out there, but when I first started doing DNA, I mean, not DNA. When I first started doing genealogy, you had to physically go to the county and get records. You had to physically go into the library, walk in and get records. That's how it was when I first started doing genealogy. Okay. So, yeah. But yeah, Caribbean genealogy is, it was really rough at one time. It was really rough, you know, to get records, you know. And, now they've started to computerize a lot of stuff that was just on paper at one time. And, you know, um, it's we live in the best and worst of times, it's really good now. But anyway, okay, I see another comment here. Let's go to Firebird. Firebird is comment here. Oh wait, before that we had. Let me see. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Uh, what is? Oh wow, you can't make it past the 1920s. Wow. Yeah. That's rough. That's rough. That's rough. Yeah. Yeah, you're definitely gonna have to utilize the DNA. That's what's gonna help you to get over those hurdles. Okay. And the good thing about these DNA sites is that people are getting tests done. Different people are getting their tests done every day. So, you never know. It just may be that one person, I check mine regularly. I check mine like at least, at the very least, twice a week. I check my account and, regularly. Sometimes I look on there, it'd be like 10 DNA relatives. You have 10 new DNA relatives. It'd be like, you have 16 new DNA relatives, or you have 20 new DNA, and I'd be like, oh, shoot, you know, and, you got to check, you got to check all of those matches, because it could be that one person who just has, it could be one person who has it all. It could be one person who has it all, you know. So you just gotta think positive, you know. And I know a lot of people, I'm gonna lose a lot of people by saying this. I know what I'm getting ready to say right now, I'm gonna lose a lot of people. Okay. However, I'm gonna say it anyway because it just may help somebody. Okay. It just may help somebody. But I'm going to say work with your ancestors. You can take it or let it alone. Because I can personally say, for me, what I couldn't get, again, I'm going to lose a lot of y'all right now, but what I couldn't get from my living relatives, I got by working with my ancestors. You can take it or let it alone. That's up to you. But for me, that's what helped me. Okay. So I'm not going to beat that dead horse, but that's just what it is. Okay. So anyway, some other comments in here. Let's see. Also, there's 6 people watching now. So I'm just going to ask if, you like what you hear. I'm helping people with their genealogy. If everybody who's listening could thumbs up. And for those who haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you a dime. It's just the click of a button. You know, it helps with the algorithm. It helps with the video to go out. It helps the channel to grow. Okay. So, that's all I ask. So now I have some more comments here. Okay, from Firebird. A gentleman is claiming a name from a tribe. They don't claim that name. It is an in law's last name. Okay. Claiming a name from a tribe. They don't claim that name. It's an in law's last name. Interesting. And let's see. He has a book written with this false information, and his friend blasting people that knows the truth. Yeah, that goes on too. That goes on too. And let's see. And Haitian Revolution says, how do you deal with reclassification? Some of y'all wondering why I'm reading this stuff slow. Is again, for those who watch the channel regularly, y'all know that, normally I should be wearing reading glasses, but I refuse to wear glasses. I don't want my eyes to become dependent on them. I choose to exercise my eyes and to strengthen my eye muscles. So that's why sometimes you see me reading this stuff slow, because I'm struggling to read the print. But anyway, just wanted y'all to know that. How do you deal with reclassification? I know of mainland Amerindians sent to IAT or Haiti, but I can't prove it with last names. Good question. Good question. Yeah, with reclassification, uh, hey, thing is, if you know who your family is, really that's all that matters. Nobody can tell you who you are. It's like a Chinaman, you know, they don't question a Chinaman whether he's a Chinaman. you know, it's like, you are what you are. We're the only race who, we have to present papers to say, oh, this is what we are, or we need this, identifier or whatever, you know. No other people have to do that. Think about that though. That's one of the ways that they were able to commit the genocide, the paper genocide on our people, and disenfranchise our people out of land and things of that nature. Okay. But if you know you are, it's really all that matters. Forget about what somebody says you are. That's just my take on it, you know. Oh, thank you so much for the comment. Much appreciated. Let's see, a lot of matches. Let's see. A lot of my matches are not Haitian, so I'm stuck on what to do. Are not Haitian. If you don't mind my asking, where are those matches turning up? If you don't mind my asking, let me know in the comment section. We'll see what's going on from there. Hey, we got the Sacred Grove in the house. The Sacred Grove. Hey, long time. Yeah, but yeah, and Sacred Grove is saying, yeah, that's right. Sacred Grove says, oh, in peace, peace, Free Hawk. Long time. Yeah. Thanks for joining. And Sacred Grove says, yeah, it goes without saying for the Chinaman. Exactly. You know, goes without saying. So why should it be any different here? People fell for the okey doke, with the color politics. You know what I'm saying? The color politics and things of that nature. And my thing is that, you know, don't worry about who's don't worry about like for Haitian Revolution, don't worry about who accepts you or this, that, and the other. Keep doing your genealogy because that's gonna speak for itself. Keep doing your genealogy. You know, prove how long you've been on the land. Okay, you know, and then all else will follow. You know. Okay, so Haitian Revolution is saying, oh, okay, so a lot of your matches are coming from mainland North America, Latin America, and Europeans, and not Haiti. Okay, well, see, that could be just the result of the fact that a lot of indigenous people were taken from the mainland into the islands, and what they call the quote unquote Indian slave trade. That's real. I got the book right on my bookshelf. Okay. The Indian slave trade, you know. So again, genealogy is something unique to every person. We all don't share the same genealogy. So what my genealogy is is going to be different than, say, Sacred Grove's genealogy, Free Hawk's genealogy, you know, or anybody else, and had Haitian Revolution's genealogy. So, you know, there's no one prescribed uh, method, what worked for me may not necessarily work for the next person. Um, but I would say, yeah, with Haitian Revolution. So if your matches are coming up in mainland North America, Latin America, and Europe, so you're gonna have to look in those places for records, And again, somebody that now is this these matches, are they coming from your maternal or paternal side? And if it's coming from your uh, paternal side, of course, it's going to be a little harder because your father is no longer with us. So it's going to take a lot of digging, a lot of digging. But if you're persistent, I guarantee you that you're going to be able to get further than the 1920s. If you're diligent, you know, you will get past the 1920s. Okay. Um, hmm. You may have to, well, again, first do that. First, first connect with those ancestors. I mean ancestors, I'm bugging. First connect with those relatives that you found so far. See what you can find out from them. Now, those three cousins that you did connect with, where are they from? Uh, can you tell me that in the chat where they're from? Are they from mainland North America, uh, Latin America, or Europe, or are they from Haiti? And while I'm waiting for your response there, let's see what else is going on in the chat. Wow, I wish I had you on right now, Firebird, to help me with some of these comments because it's a lot, and I may not be able to get to everybody. Uh, I'm hoping to get to everybody and say, okay, we got okay, Sacred Grove says, if you and Haitians have the same matches, then that shows relations also. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Uh, and we have also Chico the Costa in the house. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, it's been a while. Appreciate you. And he's checking in from Vegas. Yeah. Uh. Yeah. Exactly. And Sacred Groves agrees. Yeah. Only we can declare who we are. That's right. You know, nobody can tell you who you are. If you know who you are, it's all that really matters. Okay, and Sacred Grove says the people of IET will have similar matches. And Haitian Revolution says peace to Sacred Grove and says I know some relations but not all. Um, yeah, all of ours will be different, but we'll have similar numbers. Yeah, exactly. And Haitian Revolution is saying there are records of Maya sent to IAT in the 1700s, but they are not recognized as Indians in the 1800s. Okay. That's interesting. Uh can you can you email me those records? I'm gonna leave my email in the chat. TP Longhouse at gmail.com. Send me if you're able to if you have access to those records, I'd like to take a look at them. Send a email them to me. Because again, with this stuff, you have to be like a detective, and it's good how we're all brainstorming this right here, and we can help each other out. Like how right now we're helping Haitian Revolution out, you know, and with a lot of my genealogy, I collaborated with certain family members. And not all of my family members are into genealogy like this, but there's like a small handful that are on it too. And this, you brainstorm, you know. So this is good. Each time we do a genealogy show, someone can present a challenge like Haitian Revolution is doing. We all brainstorm on, how we can help that person, get over that obstacle, because this is what it's about. It's like Malcolm X said, Malcolm X, El Hajj Malika Shabazz, he asked the question. He says, what makes a king royal? What makes the royalty over in England, what makes them royal? And he said, royalty knows its ancestry. If you take away his ancestry, what does he become? And I'm asking you in the chat, what does he become? And y'all remember that question that Malcolm asked back in the days? I'll wait for the answer. He said, royalty knows his ancestry. What makes the king over in England, all that, he can trace his ancestry all the way back. The Sacred Grove. I should have known the Sacred Grove knew it. He said, if you take away his ancestry, what does he become? A peasant. That's right, a peasant. Okay, a peasant. That's right. You take away his ancestry, he becomes a peasant. Exactly, Sacred Grove, a slave. Okay, exactly. Simple math. That's right, simple math. Okay, so that's what it's about. Being able to say, hey, you say I'm this? No, 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 no. My genealogy says otherwise. Okay. You're saying on your DNA test that my relatives came from Africa in 18 something or whatever. Now, my genealogy says different. So it's like again, I use both. It's like, and you use both to check each other off, So if you have genealogy, definite genealogy, and they're saying one thing on the DNA, that's how you refute that. You see what I'm saying? That's how you refute that. Okay. And, some of us been rocking this stuff. I don't want to get into too much detail, but, because, we have enemies listening as well as friends, So, but yeah, some of us been rocking this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about. You know, it's about showing who you are. Yeah, and Ninky Stratton, my timekeeper. She is in the house. She's a peasant. That's heavy. That's heavy, right? Let's say Malcolm, man. I love Malcolm, man. He was but yeah, that's what it is, and like he was saying in that same speech, you'll have others who can lay claim to that which is yours because they can trace their ancestry back a certain amount of time and you can't, but they can, because they can, even if it's fake, they can actually lay claim to that which is not theirs, So you got to know, you've got to know. I take genealogy very seriously. I take it very seriously. My wife will tell you I'm on it like a hawk. I'm on it like a hawk, She's looking at me now. She's like, yeah. Keep it. She's looking at me like, yeah. Keeping me up all night, keeping them lights on and while I'm trying to sleep. But yeah, that's real, I'm never taking a break from this stuff because again, genealogy is ongoing. It never ends. It never ends, and it spreads out. You have cousins, distant cousins that you never even heard of. But like when I did my DNA, I had certain cousins that with surnames, I was like, what? I never even knew existed in my family history, Then I also pressed my grandmother a little bit more, and yeah, come to find out, yeah, those surnames are in the family. So, you know, don't get discouraged, just keep going forward, keep going, keep pressing on. And again, when more DNA relatives pop up and you get that notification, look to see who they are, follow up, send them a message, you know, and at some point, I can almost guarantee you're going to be able to get another piece that's going to help you out. Again, newspapers, look at newspapers. They have genealogical societies that you can become a part of as well, and they can give you information, you know. Check out historical societies in the places where your ancestors were, you know, and you can get information about, uh, people, places, and things that way. Okay. So not everything is gonna be just direct what you have on your family tree. Sometimes you gotta get information a roundabout way. Also, another thing too, sometimes you may have a spelling of a surname. Let's say, for example, uh, a surname may be spelled. Let's just say theoretically, your surname may be uh let's say uh small. You see a record with someone and their surname is Smalls with the S. Sometimes families change the spelling. Okay, that's another thing. Okay, another, there's variations of names. Okay, uh surname might be Liverpool, and ancestor may have changed it to Liverpool instead of Pool. They may have changed it to Pole. Okay, you may hold on one second. You need something? Oh, okay. Uh, you may overlook that record where it's spelled Pole because you're like, oh no, 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 my ancestors spelled it Pool. Okay, and just by overlooking that, you may have missed a key record, you know, that may have been that ancestor that you were looking for. Okay. Uh Let me see. Oh, we got some new people in. Hey, all right. Hey, greetings, good brother. We got the chief in the house. Good to see, I'm glad to see you in here. Yeah, I gotta hit you up. We gotta chat. Um, that'll be soon. And like I say, he's listening while he's driving. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, man. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. And let's see. Yes, Sacred Grove. Sacred Grove said that's why it's important for us to create our own literature and keep family records. That's right. Got to create your own literature. You know, get with family members who are of like mind. You know, and have them to help you do the legwork, because you can't do it all on your own. you know. But hey, but if you're on your own, then oh hey, I was on my own doing this for a while, and now I've got other relatives that are doing the legwork as well. You know, exactly like nobles do. Yeah. Uh, let's see. Have I seen ancestry DNA communities? So me, I have an ancestry account, but I haven't done DNA on ancestry. But I know that with certain answer, like say for instance, 23andMe, I know they have like certain groups, DNA groups and things like that on 23andMe. Ancestry, I'm not sure because I haven't done DNA on ancestry, but I'm pretty sure they do because all of these companies now are competing with each other. So I'm pretty sure that they do. I would look into it if I were you. But I think they do. I think they don't quote me on that, but I feel that they do. I may have seen that on Ancestry that they have that, but I know most of these companies now, you know, they have things like that where you could do independent research and things of that nature. So yeah, matter of fact, I'll look into that, and on the next show, I'll let you know. You know, uh, and Sacred Grove says, yeah, document everything. Facts, facts. Document everything. And Sacred Grove says names change based on the jurisdiction or Franco lingua of the time. Yeah. Or how that government recorded it. Yeah. And also, let's keep it real. And I know this is true of my own family. You had some family that was having trouble with the law. So they were uh trying to not be found. I know some relatives of mine, like uh my Cherokee great great grandfather, he used to chase the white folk out of town. Okay. And he even killed one of them. Okay. I think he stabbed him to death or something like that. So that particular surname, he changed that surname almost totally around. It sounds similar, but it's different. Okay. So, you gotta look into things like that too. That's why I say you want to find certain ancestors, you gotta also look at the county jails and things of that nature, and you'll find records, you know. So yeah. And says that's why we see Guinea, Guyana, Guinea, Ghana, Guyana, different Europeans writing things down. Yeah. And Freehawk says they're trying, yes, they're trying to take you out of your land base. Yeah. And Chico da Costa is saying, I have records of ancestors where their names changed from Hortes to Ortiz. They are pronounced the same. Oh, okay. They pronounce Ortiz with an H. Okay. Pronounced the same, but it threw me off initially. Knowing that names can change is valuable when doing genealogy. Facts. 1000%. 1000%. You're right. You're right. That is invaluable when it comes to doing genealogical research, because if you're stuck in just thinking, the way that you spell your surname or the way that your parents spell the surname, you're going to miss so many records. You're going to overlook so many records. It's ridiculous. And even just like Chico DaCosta is saying right here, just with stuff like that, with the same pronunciation, but here you have an H in front of the O, you know? So, yeah, that can help you get over major obstacles. I'm telling you. And Sacred Grove says, Chico, that's a common practice too. H is usually silent and not used when written by people. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Particularly outside of the US, let's say like in certain places, let's say like even in like say like Jamaica, you know, where the H's are not pronounced, or it's another country, in Latin America, you know. So yeah, and Sacred Grove says, and remember the U.S. 13 colonies got records. Florida and the Mississippi and Louisiana, etc., have their own records. The West Coast have their own, and it's in different languages. Yeah, see, that's another thing too, So all of these little things, can help you tremendously in doing genealogy, you know. And this is not the this is not going to be the last show we do on genealogy. I'm going to have to close out now because I did promise my wife that I would take her out tonight, and she just came in and she's waving the fist at me, you know, like, Negro, look at the time, you know. So it is what it is, but we gotta go. But anyway, yeah, she is. She's like, yeah. But yeah, this was good, and we're gonna continue this build, and hopefully we could help some more people. I hope that Haitian revolution. I hope that we've been able to help you a little bit at least, and it could point you in the right direction, and definitely make sure that when we do the next show, make sure you tune in and let us know how you progress, you know let us know. And anybody else who's having, I'm also gonna have some genealogists on the show as well, and just do it because that's what it's about, man. It's about, again, like Malcolm say, royalty knows its ancestry, you know. So, and Freehawk says, our ancestors sent us here to expose the real truth. Exactly. And Haitian Revolution, I'm going to send some sources on Amerindian slavery in Haiti or Haiti. Yeah, definitely. Appreciate that, And I definitely have some Haitian friends that would appreciate that information as well. And Ninky said, my timekeeper says, take care to everyone. Yeah, thank you for joining in. And Chico da Costa says, thanks for a great live, another great live. I appreciate you, fam. Yeah. So uh before I go, if anyone is moved to leave a donation It'd be greatly appreciated. I'm gonna leave in the chat the information where that can be made possible. Excuse me. Um, via PayPal and Cash App. Just hold tight 1 second. I'm gonna type that in. Give me 1 second. So in the chat, I'm leaving the information where if you're motivated to leave a donation, you can do so. And I'm gonna put that up on the screen. Uh, yeah, Free Hawk. Yeah, peace. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, correct.
And so I put that in the chat, Cash App and PayPal. If anyone is motivated to leave a donation, we greatly appreciate it. And as y'all know, as I've shown on many occasions, any donations that people leave, I show the physical proof that it's going to things that make the channel better, you know. So and it helps to present the information to you in a better fashion as well. Okay. So on that note, I won't keep you all. I know it's Saturday and people want to go out and things of that nature. I had a good time last night with family, and we went out and we saw the Bob Marley movie. You know, I'll talk about that on another occasion. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna go and see another movie tonight, and well, this evening. Okay, so before my wife uh throws a hammer at me or a bottle, I'm gonna get off of here so 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 that we can get out of here and catch this movie on time. All right. So until the next time, do the dog or hunt